The main character, Eve, it just looks like one of the most generic anime women ever you see in video games. Like, there's nothing unique about the way the character looks. People were being really weird about this game, Stellar Blade. I've been seeing a lot of discourse going around on the internet, and it's all, honestly, it seems to be coming from two sides. And if I'm being completely honest, both sides are being really weird. So one side to this thing that I'm seeing, it seems to be people who are thinking that the main character of this game, I think her name is Eve, is just, they have a problem with her being portrayed as like this sexy woman and that's it. And then there's another side that's being equally as weird, that's saying, well, we want more sexy women in our video games, and we think video games have gotten to a point where they're no longer showing sexy women in our video games anymore, which is ridiculous to say considering there's a plethora of like video games where it's just women are just like eye candy. And I have no problem with that, man. Like it's nice to have good looking people in your video games. I like, that's awesome. You know what I'm saying? I love to have that. But the truth is, what people find different things attractive, right? Especially when it comes to people. So what you might not find sexy doesn't mean someone else doesn't find it sexy, you know what I mean? But it's also good to have like different and unique types of characters in your games. That would make stories interesting, not just in video games, but in movies, shows, comics, all that type of stuff. But talking specifically about video games, is it a game good to play? Is it a fun game? Am I gonna enjoy playing it? Sure, you might have like an attractive woman on the cover or whatever, but if she's boring or if the game's boring, it actually isn't gonna matter. And I understand that this is like not even a majority of people, this is like a minority of people on the internet that are having this debate. So like, I don't want to frame this as something that everybody who plays video games feels this way, because as usual, it's a small amount of people on Twitter or on Reddit or wherever having this discussion. People who actually enjoy games are usually too busy playing games and they're not really online complaining like that, at least most people. And I really want to focus on the people that are being super extreme and acting like there aren't attractive people in video games anymore, or if like video games don't make eye candy, I guess, characters anymore. I think they're being super melodramatic. I see them on spaces like Twitter acting like, or they'll try to have you believe like gaming is dying because, oh man, we can't have sexy women in our video games anymore. We literally just came off of one of the best years in gaming last year. So like, trying to push the idea that games are dying and this is the reason is actually absurd to me, if I'm being honest. Like, video games have always had sexy female characters and they still do to this day. I think the thing is, we're just more so recently getting more of a variety of the types of characters you see in video games. So people are, they're feeling like, oh, they're taking this thing away from me, or they're not used to seeing more than just one type of character. I really think that's what it is. And personally, when it comes to Stellar Blade, like, I don't really have an issue either way, but I think the funniest thing about the Stellar Blade drama is like, the main character, Eve, it just looks like one of the most generic anime women ever you see in video games. Like, there's nothing unique about the way the character looks. She has like no, I guess, like unique defining features that you would see with like, I don't know, for example, a Bayonetta or a Tubi. Like, those characters are attractive and everything, but they actually have some unique, distinct features to them. And my biggest issue is I feel like Eve doesn't really have that. It's just like the most basic like attractive character they could have came with. And I know it's based on a real person, and I'm not taking shots at the real person or anything like that. I'm just saying, as far as the character goes, she's kind of boring looking. And one of the things I'm actually now looking forward to is when the game actually releases, I think it's going to be a double-edged sword in this situation, where if the game gets a high score, then these weird freaks aren't going to shut up about their point, and they're going to use that as like fuel to be like, see, we were right, the game did good because sexy female character in the game. But if the game gets average or below scores, then they're going to start screaming even harder about how it's the fault of, DEI or some nonsense, and people were against the game from the get-go, so it didn't get a fair chance. Like, it's truly a very all-around annoying situation to me personally. I truly believe that the people that are having this, debate about this game are truly a small part of the people who like video games, the gaming community. I think they're just bored online. And like, people online love to have a debate about essentially nothing for the most part. I've seen some people with some wild takes, and I've seen some people doing some like foul shit online over a video game, dude. A video game. So it's just like, what are we doing here? Like, what are we actually doing with this situation, man? Like, if you enjoy the game, support the game, buy the game, have a good time. And if you have an issue with the way the main character is being represented to you personally, don't buy the game. Don't support the game. Like, don't give the game any exposure if that's how you feel. But I just want to get back to when like people just kind of enjoyed their video games, and yeah, we had conversations about the games we enjoyed, but we weren't weird freaks about it. You know what I mean? Or is it just me? Maybe it's just me and wishful thinking, because for when it comes to video games, I usually like mind my business and things like that. So I really don't know what's going on. I just wanted to give my thoughts on this thing, and kind of like, it's been in my head for a couple of days and it's gotten almost unbearable on social media when it comes to this game. And I figured, why not just put it in a video and get it out.